You said, show you what's up. I already showed you what's up. You said, show you what it do. I already showed you what it do. Why? Let me stop being serious. So we made it to New York. We are on the third leg. Here we go again. We made it to New York and we are um, in the latter part of the tour. And after here, we'll start migrating back towards the southern areas, the southern regions. But I was processing something, and I feel, it's my duty as an elder practitioner, as a purple devotee, to share these insights with you all as I receive them. Now, I've already made a post about it, but I want to be clear. I just want this to set with y'all. I think about when I was little, my grandmother was a custodian, and I was being indoctrinated to believe that I should be more ambitious. I should want to achieve more than doing manual labor, than toiling outside. We were taught, as Black people, to have this shame associated with that. Go get your education, go get your degree, go get you a good paying job high up in the system, high up in the institutions. And this is not to crap on those of us who work high paying jobs and who are heavily invested in institutions. But this is the whole space for the laborer, the one who is outside. I have so much respect for people who do manual labor. I have so much respect for people who get up and go to work for 8 hours and come home and get to decompress and take care of themselves. But I do understand that you could be a manual laborer and you could also be causing harm to people. The last time I was truly invested in a job, I was working for Nairi here in New York, incidentally, and it was a place where we kept people from ODing. It was a safe space for people to use and not OD. It was a harm reduction center, one of the biggest in America. And we worked with people who were unhoused, people who were living with HIV, people who were elderly, people who were navigating addiction, obviously, just people who were in very compromised and vulnerable phases in their existence. And so we had to be thoughtful about the ways in which we showed up for them. Harm reduction is about being thoughtful of the people that society tends to throw away. And so this is why I gravitated to it. The paycheck, yes, I could definitely use it, but it had to feel like I was doing something that felt like giving back in my spirit. My job before that, I worked at a nonprofit organization that was in the Black queer community. And of course, I wanted to work for Black people. I wanted to feel a part of community and feel a part of the Black community. I think that's just a normal thing. We as humans, we want to feel seen and validated and accepted in our own communities. Before that, I worked for the state. And again, that was another Black person that I was working for. The paychecks were nice for entry level. But the reason why I took those jobs is because I valued the work. I valued the opportunity, and I saw value in holding those positions in community and what it would instill me with to be able to give back to community in the ways in which I felt called to give back to community. Ultimately, I ended up stepping away from those jobs because I witnessed a lot of the same harm within the institutions that I was experiencing in the streets. And I expected it in the streets because the streets are the streets. But when you're dealing with the same attitudes and the same behaviors, just a little bit more refined and finessed within the institutions, it really helps you to realize that it's just the same script and a different cast. And so What I want to have a conversation about really briefly, because I'm not going to hold y'all, is respecting people. Like, let's revisit this trope of the field versus the house. Understand what I'm saying? I'm in this place in my life where it's about peace. It's about what brings you joy. It's about what helps you to not be the bane of the frequency that is existing around you. What helps you to cause the most minimal amount of harm possible, because we can't escape causing harm to others as certain as we're having a human experience. But to be thoughtful, if you are someone who is working up in the institutions and the systems, to assess your disenchantment and the bitterness that you may have accrued, and how you may have tunnel vision, and your tunnel vision may be causing you to be extremely harmful to people who were not designed or called to serve in the way that you are. Lift your head up out of the tunnel and look around and open your mind and realize that everyone is not experiencing life in the same way as you are, and nor should they. One of the things that I've been learning recently, just from like going viral with these posts from The Shy, shout out to The Shy. I feel like it's one of the greatest Black TV shows that I have seen in decades. It is a great TV show in general. But one of the things that I have, learned from this experience, because at first I was like really like being on people who I felt like were being rude to me in the comments, because the post isn't rude, the post is thoughtful, and I wanted to be a safe space for people to share their opinions. But what I realized is a lot of people, once they read a post, there's a sensory overload, and they just want to respond, and they don't take the time to go into the comments and see what is happening in the comment section, what other opinions, what other thoughts. They just want to get out their response. And I am a person who's done this on a number of occasions. I don't care what everybody's saying in the comment section. I feel like what I'm saying is important, and forget what all of y'all saying. This has taught me to be more considerate of the not just the post. Because one person said in a response, when someone makes a post, it's about giving your opinion and making comments. But how about it be about healing? How about it be about expanding awareness? How about it be about us learning from each other? And so that is what I want to invite people to do in this social media era, in this time of elevated consciousness and expanded awareness. I want us to take this as an opportunity to come out of our own little echo chamber, to come out of our own tunnel, or like the old folks say, get your head out your ass and pay attention to what's going on around you, and be more thoughtful with that. No matter what your station, whether you working outside, being a steward of the land, doing manual labor, or you're up deep in the institutions, impacting policies, impacting laws, impacting things that have the ability to impact a whole lot of people. Whether you're a bus driver being responsible for a whole bunch of people on a bus, or a train conductor being responsible for a whole bunch of people on a train. Because last night, child, on that bus, whoo, I could tell you a story, but that's not the point. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. But also remember that you are existing in a world full of mirrors that can teach you more about you, and more about your purpose, and more about your calling. If you take the time to, when they say stop and smell the roses, it's not just about stopping and physically smelling a rose. It's about actually paying attention to what's going on around you. Pick your head up out your phone and be present. Be present. Show up. And then take some time to take care of you and reflect on those things. No matter what your station in life, amen. and a woman. Lay lim lay lur. Love y'all. Purple ones. Rise.